We're going to talk about 5 different cryptocurrencies that could absolutely rocket. They are very low market cap, but somebody knows something, and that somebody may have quite a bit of money. We're going to get into that. I'm Brian, Big Dumb Animal. Don't do what I do. Informational purposes only. You can join down below. There's a member community on YouTube on my channel. You can also subscribe, please, like. And I've got, of course, my crypto school I always talk about, where I have all kinds of classes. If you don't know how to buy your first crypto or put it in a wallet or use an exchange, whatever it may be, there's a link down below. You can go and check it out. All right, BitGo. This was the announcement that came out a while ago, and it was intriguing. I started to learn a little more about BitGo itself because they made the announcement that they had new assets supported, and they came out with a list of them. Hedera, as you probably know, is one of the top 20 cryptos. It's a layer 1. It's very popular. These projects are what they call HTS tokens because they're built on the Hedera chain. First off, take a look at this. What is BitGo? Well, these are institutional clients. They use BitGo. Individuals like you and I don't use BitGo. These are large, as you can see, institutions. That's why I call them institutional clients that have all sorts of money, and they need services of purchasing it and storing it and following certain processes and regulations. They can't do what we do, just buy and sell really quickly. They have to go through a service, and this BitGo is the largest. Look at this. Here are some of BitGo's accomplishments. So back in 2013, they pioneered the multi-signature wallet, enhancing security for digital asset transactions, probably because they've got, themselves as a third party and then a company or an institution that wants to also have part of that signature authority. 2018, they launched the Trust Company so that they could offer cold storage solutions. 2020, BitGo Prime, they provided trading, borrowing, and lending services to their institutional clients. Big deal. 2023, they raised $100 million. That was their Series C funding. I don't know how many fundings they had before, but usually you've got like a seed round, an A, a B, a C. But that valuation was $1.75 billion. 2025, they integrated Babylon's native Bitcoin staking protocol, enabling institutions to earn rewards on BTC without wrapping or bridging. Great. Now let's talk about their key statistics. This is fascinating. Assets under custody, over 100 billion. They are the world's largest independent digital asset custodian. How about assets staked? 48 billion. The largest staking platform by total value locked. Transaction volume, more than 3 trillion. You read that right. 3 trillion in processed transactions. They have custody for over 1,100 digital assets, including 80 of the top 100 by market cap. Client base, over 1,500 institutional clients. As you saw, we're talking about hedge funds, venture capital funds, asset managers, pension funds, insurance companies, banks, across more than 50 countries. Then, look at this Bitcoin network participation. They process 20% of all global Bitcoin transactions by value. Unbelievable. They are hitting number 1 in categories like assets under management and staked. The amount of trading volume is phenomenal. They've got these huge institutional clients. Here's what's really interesting. If you look at a particular cryptocurrency, for example, let's just look at this one called Karate Combat. And you look in the middle here, they'll show you the exchanges that it's on, okay? BitGo, well, BitGo is not an exchange per se. It's not going to be on that list. But yet, third parties through BitGo can obtain all of these cryptos, even though they're not on that list because it's not considered an exchange. So this is yet another way for these particular cryptocurrencies to be purchased and acquired. And look, I put things into 3 buckets. I always like to keep things simple. You got your day traders, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Then you have people like maybe myself that might hold some of their crypto for a longer period of time, but we're talking about maybe through a cycle, a couple years, 2 years, 1 year, whatever it may be. And then you've got institutions, which is kind of like myself using an IRA. I buy something in there and I'm probably just going to set it and forget it. I may have 10 years before retirement. You might have 30 or 40. That's longer term holding. A lot of these institutions, they're not doing a lot of trading. Maybe the banks are or the hedge funds, But insurance companies and some of these pension funds, they might just be buying some of these assets and holding them for the long term. That is huge. If things are just going off into cold storage, meaning they're not out on an exchange, they're pulling some of those tokens off of the market. That can be very valuable. So where am I going with this? Well, they had an announcement, which I alluded to at the beginning, of the additional cryptocurrencies, and 4 of these are on the HTS Hedera token service. So let's look at those 4. First one, Karate Combat. Market cap, 11 million. Fully diluted value, 19 million. Very small. If you look in the center here, we're going to look at the exchanges that it's on. It's on a decent amount, but 9. Of course, Saucer Swap, which is an exchange on Hedera. MEXC, Gate, KuCoin, Uniswap on the Ethereum chain. That's great. So not a lot. And if you look at this is the percent +2 or -2, how much money it takes to move the price up or down by 2%. You're looking at $1,000. Usually it's hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to move the price in one direction or another. These institutions, I can pretty much guarantee, aren't purchasing $100 worth or $2,000 worth. If they start purchasing these 4, because again, this is what's on their list. We've got Hashpack, PACK. We've got Dovu, DOVU. We've got Saucer Swap, SAUCE. We've got Tune FM, and we had Karate. 5 of them. So the first one we looked at was Karate. Let's look at Tune FM. Tune FM is 2 million market cap. Fully diluted value, 6 million. That is nothing. It's on a handful of exchanges, and it's literally nothing is going to move the price. I mean, any amount of purchasing is going to start moving that price one way or the other. Saucer Swap, the largest exchange on Hedera. Not on very many different exchanges either. 30 million market cap, fully diluted 37. Dovu, 18 million market cap, 22 million fully diluted. It's on only a handful. And the final one was PAC. The next one is Hashpack, 7.5 million. This is the cryptocurrency for the wallet service, Hashpack. Fully diluted 18 million. Again, not on many exchanges. So we've got 5 here. Let's go over them again. Karate Combat, 11 million market cap. Tune FM, a 2 million market cap. Sauce, a 30 million market cap. Dovu, 18 million. Hashpack, 7 million. So if you look at something at like, let's just say, what was the smallest one? 2 million market cap. If it just goes to 100 million in this run, that's a 50x. Now, why is this interesting to me and exciting? Well, I own a little bit of actually all of these. I owned all of them for a while, and I just picked up some Dovu recently. But when we're talking about the numbers that BitGo has in terms of institutional clients, and the fact that they were just announced as new crypto that the clients of BitGo can now purchase. And by the way, if you go to the BitGo site, the development portal, you can look up coins and tokens. So for example, Tune FM is JAM. There it is, Tune FM, HBAR JAM, HTS token. The other was another one, Hashpack, HASH, there it is, Hashpack. You've got Dovu. Yep, they're all here. You've got Karate. Yep, Karate Combat's there as well. And Sauce. Yep, Saucer Swap is there also. That's what I wanted to point out today. I think we might be front running something here. In other words, we might have an opportunity. And I'm not sure I did my disclaimer. Big dumb animal, don't do what I do, informational purposes only. But for me, I think this is a huge deal. It's one thing to add more exchanges, which is great, because retail investors can start buying it on other exchanges. I think that's very important to be on as many as possible, and the largest ones you can possibly get on. But these are all small market cap. And if they added them, because they didn't add any other of the Hedera ones at the moment that I could find, and they only support 1,100 various ones. And you might think, well, 1,100's a lot, but Karate Combat's 1,061. Tune FM is 1,698. Sauce is 710. Dovu, 3,466 in terms of on coin market cap on the list. So the fact that BitGo, they don't have the world available. And for some reason, they've picked these on Hedera. That's a huge deal. And I should also say, of course, they have Hedera on here as well as an asset that they can buy. So now this is available to huge institutions. This, on the one hand, may be a nothing burger. Who knows how they got in? Maybe no one wants to buy them. But I gotta believe if they took the time to put it on the roadmap and had the developers put these in the system, and now that they can do Hedera HTS tokens, hopefully they'll be bringing on more from the Hedera ecosystem. But for those 5, these large institutions now have access to purchase them. Who knows, could be a shot in the dark. But for me, those are ones I want to own. Have a great day. Hope this was helpful. Hope we can all make generational wealth together with crypto. Thanks for watching.